We've got Alex joining us and Radek. The pair of them I think they went something like 13-5 after 2 weeks. We've had such a good record. First of all, Alex, how are you, sir?
Hello, I'm enjoying the show. I'm enjoying how you guys combine together. You know, you and Juan there. I hear myself on the other
Oh,
end.
yeah, that's okay,
Maybe
Alex.
Rafa
We
can
can
do
see
something
you.
about that.
I'm letting number one stay for a couple of minutes just because he can learn a little bit like the Bundesliga as well.
Hey, I need to diversify.
Exactly. He's smashing that La Liga. So I've come over, watch a couple of pros. We've got Alex, we've got Radek. Alex, what's been impressive so far in Bundesliga?
Everything is impressive in Bundesliga. Like always, the exciting matches, thrilling matches every day. Here is also Radek, can tell you more about it, but I love every Bundesliga game. I'm watching them, most of them, I'm catching them on TV. Also Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and absolutely incredible this season. I can't wait for this round of fixtures to happen. I'm expecting a nice season with many teams there at the top of the table fighting each other. It will be amazing, you will see.
Radek, welcome back. It's been a good 2 weeks for you boys.
Yes, 5 out of 6 picks of mine. I think last game there I nailed it. I almost won a 6 accumulator, but I didn't because Augsburg didn't win against Union Berlin, costed me about €800. I would have won. So yeah, that's the point with accumulators. But I'm very positive that we can give some good tips this week again.
Okay, we're going to start off with Mönchengladbach versus Leipzig. Alex, what do you think?
Leipzig, impressive, very impressive. I remember every time when I'm capping RB Leipzig, what Radek was saying at the beginning when we did the outright preview with Natalie before the start of the season. RB Leipzig with Nagelsmann, with another style. They are changing the tactics several times during the match. This is a masterpiece, what I'm seeing from Leipzig. They are absolutely brilliant. Gladbach also a decent side. They bounced back as Radek predicted there, and they won on the road against Mainz. It was a great win from Gladbach, and I'm expecting them to put some problems to Leipzig, but not to beat them. Gladbach are still good with Alasson Plea there, with Brel and Bolo. I think that Brel and Bolo this time will come in the starting 11 because Thuram, the son of Lilian Thuram, if you remember him, the World Cup winner, was not so impressive, the youngster. So I think that Brel and Bolo will come now in the starting 11. And I think that he might also score. He's a fast player. He's a very good player. But I think that Leipzig will win. So I'm going again Leipzig and both teams to score at 3.5. So Leipzig to win and both teams to score at 3.5.
That's a massive start to the coup on that. 3.5, Leipzig to win away from home and both teams to score. Whew, calm me down a bit, Radek. Wolfsburg versus Paderborn.
Yeah, we had a lot of goals in the first 2 game days, and especially last game day was amazing, as Alex said. We had 4 games with 1-3, 3-1 away winners, and I think there are some teams who are very open in the defense, and Paderborn for sure is one of them. But they play very attractive offense football as well, and their coach is very high emotional. Steffen Baumgart, a former player of Hansa Rostock in the 1990s. So long story short, I think Wolfsburg has a good offense, and Paderborn will get 2 or 3 goals from them. That's why I'm betting on over 3.5 with an odd of 2.05.
Would you put anyone against just putting Wolfsburg in at 1.49 if they was going to make up a parlay of other smaller bets?
No, Paderborn proved that they are a really high tense team who is fighting a lot, and they have a very high team spirit. And I think they can make one or another sensation this year. So I'm not very happy with the very low Wolfsburg odds, but I think both teams are good to score a lot of goals in this game.
Okay, so beware the 2-2 there, or even a bonkers 3-2 away win. Paderborn 6.5. That tells you they're not completely out of the running. I'll stay with you, Radek. Leverkusen versus Hoffenheim.
Yeah, same speaking as before, same game. We have two very offensive teams with a lot of potential to score goals, especially Leverkusen proved it in the first two games, and their coach can't do it another way because Peter Bosch is he loves football to score, and Hoffenheim's trainer is Alfred Reuter, another Netherlands, another Dutch coach in the Bundesliga, and the two coaches played together in one team when they were active players in Holland. But that's just a side story. I think they love to play the Dutch style of soccer, and that means with three attackers each and over the wings. And so there will be very much potential to score. That's why I'm going here to over 3.5 as well. The odds are a little bit lower than in the first game with 1.96 at Pinnacle, when I was looking for it in the afternoon.
Alex, Radek's gone goal crazy. You jumping in with him?
Yeah, but for better odds, for better set of odds, I'm going Leverkusen and both teams to score at 2.5. Again, I really like this take. Leverkusen at home with Peter Bosch are absolutely another animal. They won 13 of their last 19 home matches in Bundesliga. They scored 49 goals in the process. They did some great transfers. Absolutely amazed with Kerem Demirbay, whom they bought exactly from Hoffenheim. So now if Kerem Demirbay was at Hoffenheim, it was another story. But if it's not Kai Havertz, if it's not Leon Bailey, it will be Karim Bellarabi, it will be Kevin Volland. Absolutely impressive attack from Leverkusen there, with Peter Bosch going all in every single match. Unfortunately, Andrej Kramaric again is still injured for Hoffenheim, but I think that Belfodil and Baumgartner should make the difference and score also on the road against Leverkusen. So again, Leverkusen struggling a lot in their defense, but their tactics are to score more goals than their opponents. This is why I'm going Leverkusen and both teams to score at 2.5, you know.
Okay, so we're looking for goals. We're looking for a Leverkusen win. Let's move along. Werder Bremen, 1.75. Draw 4.1. Augsburg, who killed Radek last week, at 5. Alex?
Very impressed with Werder Bremen, despite the fact that they have two defeats in a row. They've lost both matches against Düsseldorf and Hoffenheim. I think that it's time for them to bounce back and to win their first match of the season. I think that the odds are pretty decent at 1.75, like you mentioned. And I'm going with this Werder Bremen will impress. I think that they will finish this season on the top of the table. So maximum 10th place on the standings there. So I think that this is the correct time for them to win their first match in front of their fans. And Augsburg are the perfect opponent for that. Augsburg failed to win against Union Berlin. Imagine that. Union Berlin, who got destroyed by RB Leipzig in the first match. So Werder Bremen at 1.75 for me. Great odds.
Radek, take me to Union Berlin against Dortmund. Union Berlin 11, draw 6.1, Dortmund 1.33. How are we going to find the value?
Yeah, and this odds not, but what I'm looking for is that Borussia Dortmund is a second half team. They proved it again in the game against Cologne when they were down to one until the 70th minute. And then they scored 3 goals within 20 minutes. And last season, we always had the last minute goal of Dortmund in the after time or extra time, sorry. And that's why I think one bet which I like is that Dortmund scores more than 2.5 goals away, just the Dortmund team. That means the bet is won if they score 3 goals or more. And another interesting bet is to bet on more than 1.5 goals in the second half for Dortmund. Both bets are around odds of 2.0. And yeah, I would wonder if Dortmund wouldn't score in the second half at least 2 goals, because Union Berlin can stand the offense power of Dortmund maybe one half time. But they showed in the first 2 games that they were not really good enough in the offense, and they had a decent game against Augsburg. But I think Augsburg will do very hard this year, despite they have really good players. But I think they have a lot of problems, and so yeah, Dortmund has to win this game. And I remember last year they played against Union Berlin in the cup game, and they needed the overtime against Union Berlin at their home. So I think my favorite bet is over 2.5 goals for Dortmund, and let's try this.
Yeah, it sounds like an in-play bet. Don't watch the first half. Come back at half-time and you can pick up the pieces. Alex, last one. Eintracht Frankfurt, 1.7. Dusseldorf at 5. The draw at 4.3. Far away, mate.
I have also a bet for Dortmund. I love the plays. I love the Dortmund to score over 1.5 goals in the second half. Union Berlin cannot keep with the attacking pressure of Dortmund. They showed that against RB Leipzig, who are the same they have the same quality as Dortmund, let's say. So yeah, I think that that price is absolutely very good for Dortmund to score 2 goals on their own in the second half. I love Dortmund minus 1.5 on the Asian handicap at 1.81 with Unibet. That means that Dortmund should win by at least 2 goals difference away at Union Berlin. And you mentioned Eintracht Frankfurt versus Düsseldorf. Eintracht Frankfurt, as I said, they will struggle to play great football in both competition, Europa League and Bundesliga. They have this problem. They don't have a long bench, and this will affect them throughout the season. I think that they will give away Europa League. They've lost away in France against Strasbourg last Thursday, and I think that, sincerely, it was a touch of let's concentrate on Bundesliga a little bit. But it's also the money, because they are taking 10 million euros if they qualify in the group stages in Europa League. So let's see what they will do this Thursday to improve and to bounce back and to overcome that 1-goal deficit from the first leg. But I think that Düsseldorf are a tough nut to crack. I think that Düsseldorf will put a lot of problems to all the teams. They will score a lot of goals against every single team in Bundesliga. I think that they will catch Eintracht Frankfurt with a lack of fitness after the Europa League matches, and I think that they will contribute on the scoreboard. I'm going for the first Alex Classic in Bundesliga, both teams to score and over 2.5 goals in the match at 1.8 with Bet365.
Cheers. Well, just going to have a quick look at Rafa's going to stick up the record of you boys prior to giving me your best bets. And if you can give me your best bets and your banker after we have a little look at this, Rafa, can you stick it up for me? Look at this. 12 wins, 6 losses, 66%.
This is not the correct one.
4.5
This is
units
not the
of profit.
correct one.
Sorry?
No, this is not the correct. This is not the correct one. It's around 10.0 units of profit.
Okay, that was La Liga.
That was the La Liga one.
Yeah, that's because of that was because of number one. See, that was because number one was bringing it down. Listen, don't worry about that. Why don't you just give me your best bets, Radek?
Okay, Wolfsburg, Paderborn over 3.5 at 2.05. Leverkusen versus Hoffenheim over 3.5 at odds of 1.96. And Borussia Dortmund over 2.5 away goals at odds of 2.0.
Alex, fire away.
So I have Gladbach versus Leipzig. Leipzig to win and both teams to score at 3.5. I have Leverkusen to win and both teams to score against Hoffenheim at 2.5. I have Dortmund minus 1.5 on the Asian handicap at 1.81. I have Werder Bremen to beat Augsburg at 1.75. And I have Eintracht versus Düsseldorf, Alex Classic there at 1.8. And I will add one more because I forgot to add it on my list. Freiburg to win with Drono bet at 1.83 against FC Köln. And my banker for this round of fixtures is Leverkusen versus Hoffenheim. Leverkusen to win and both teams to score at 2.5.
Cheers, Alex. Thanks, Radek. Good luck over the weekend and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Keep up the good work. 5 out of 6 last week. Try and do a little bit better, eh? English humour, Radek. Crack a smile. Come on.
I didn't understand you, to be honest.
I'm saying that 5 out of 6 is not good enough. We need 6 out of 6.
Yeah, I will try, but I never play this accumulators for curiosity, just for fun. And I think I stick to Alex picks and mine picks.
Yeah, I wasn't
you're doing very good.
I wasn't talking about accumulators. I just want you to have 6 winners. May all your bets be winners.
Let's do it.
Cheers. We'll see you again next week. That was Alex and Radek. Now we're going to move on